Okay, good morning underwater hockey fans, and welcome back to Quebec City, where we have coming up now the quarterfinals for the Women's Elite. My name is Nick Martin in the commentary booth today, and joining me also from Australia, Jack Robertisso. Jack, welcome to the booth.
Good morning, Nick.
And from South Africa, to try and keep us Aussies on our toes and make sure we don't get this one-sided affair going on, Jack from South African Masters team.
Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Jack. Lovely
morning.
being with you in the commentator box again.
And to keep it simple today, I'm going to go with Papa for Robertisso here, and we'll go with Jack for Jack. So 50 seconds left to go. We've got the team lists there in front of us. The South Africans, obviously the defending world champions. What can you tell us about this team here, Jack?
A couple of new caps in the team. A lot of experience in the team. Currently, today, Madeleine Rive looks like is sitting out of this game. And some very spread of age in the team, experience, young ones. I'm looking forward to a very exciting game.
And obviously you're defending world champions at the moment, Jack. How many carryovers do you have from that same winning team?
I think there's about 4 players left, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think both these teams quite young teams this time around, so should be a really, really good game with a lot of energy in there. With 3 seconds on the clock, refs have got their arms up. We're playing on the fart foghorn buzzer as we get underway, and I'll actually switch to the underwater camera, and it's your sister picking it up early and bringing it wide, Jack.
Great movement from the Gangle there, but she has just coughed it up on the outside, and the South Africans happy to rotate it through their backline, playing what looks like a very nice brand of open hockey from them. Jack, is that something that they've been working on?
They've been working on a variety of plays. It's working for them at the moment. South Africa switched the puck around, losing it, regaining it, driving through the middle. Zandre passing it forward there to the center. Girls keeping possession, avoiding contact at the moment. Zandre opening up the Australian defense there, back to center.
Yeah, it's a nice open hockey to start with here, with it seems both teams happy to look to pass it around when they get possession. We've got the foghorn going there. Looks like the referee in the corner. We've got an illegal knockdown being called against Australia, so good opportunity for South Africa here, Papa.
Really good phase one from the Aussies. The South Africans happy to move it into space and really asking some questions of the Australian defence, but they're just staying on the bottom and staying on that line of attack. So well done Australia and well done South Africa. As that puck is forced in very aggressively towards the centre of the tray, but the Aussies just managed to keep it on the outside. And then we have another ref's call, Jack.
Okay, it looked like South Africa in that drive made a little bit of a barging mistake, and relief for Australia here and then third.
And the Australians happy to set up on that outside edge, and I imagine they'll play tight to that wall and look to drive it straight down and out, but maybe a little bit of miscommunication there with the outside forward missing a puck from the halfback there, Nick.
Yeah, looks like Marie there, just calm and collected, hanging on to it. Both teams seem to be happy to just keep the puck on their bat at this stage, which is hopefully going to make for a good game.
See, Nick, I've always said underwater hockey is a non-contact sport, and this is a very good example of how we can play hockey.
Good 45 here from the South African ladies. They are driving that corner of the tray very nicely with numbers, but cleared out there by, looks like Caitlin Tell-Mensel, the kooky left-hander, who's managed to hold it against the wall and pass it back to her rotating halfback.
Yeah, she did have Eliza Game coming over the top there, but just didn't quite see her, as we see Marie again once holding it up on the wall. And there's your sister there, Papa, having a bit of a crack, and it falls back to, looks like Phoebe Stewart. I know, Tori Wickham there on the wall as we go to the foghorn.
Chopping against Australia, so pushed back there, maybe a bit too enthusiastic on that wall play, and hitting arm instead of puck first, Jack.
Good drive there by Lauren Dwyer, swinging up the wall, causing Australia to commit a foul there.
South Africans very good at setting these pucks up early, Jack, and taking them nice and quickly.
Yeah, something perhaps the Australian men could learn from. But great play there as they're driven all the way across the tray and getting another opportunity at that Australian goal tray. But the Aussie girls very good in phase one on the bottom defending it.
So a good factor here is also the fitness of the ladies. They have trained very hard, and all of them are very, very fit.
Yeah, so what happened? Brent couldn't get along to the training sessions with Julie. Is that's what's happened there, or did he offer to carry the baby? I can't quite figure it out. With
Julie kept beating him in practice when they played against us.
as the South Africans drive again on that 45 towards the corner of the tray, and the Aussies very patient defence. It's always tempting to rush an outside puck carrier, but you can actually give away your body position there. But the Australians now under the pump again, another 45 from the South Africans with numbers.
Okay, South Africa very patient on the attack there, spreading it, not playing for the goals and opening up.
And that patience has been rewarded with a goal.
As we say in South Africa, Adu! Genie van der Merwe, captain of South Africa, finishing off a good play of possession.
And the stands are going wild. I'm not sure who the player with the yellow fins was in there, Jack, but they did a lot of setup, patient work there to get that one across the line.
Okay, number 12 is Eleanor. Looks like her fins is yellow.
Yeah, so
she's very, very fit, very good at keeping possession.
Great work by the South African ladies, Nick, and I do have to say they are playing a nice brand of hockey. It's an open game, and it seems like a patient thinking game from them so far.
Yeah, for me it looks like definitely South Africa wrestling the control in this first 4.5 minutes, and the Aussie girls just finding that open play is actually, I think, spreading their structure apart a bit, and they probably need to make sure, pull that back in tight when they haven't got possession, and really play that strong defensive phase one, and then look to spread it once they have possession themselves. So look, all credit to the South Africans for coming out with good positive hockey and a really nice game to watch.
Good pressure by South Africa. Don't think Australia has been into South Africa's half in the first third of this first half.
And Jack just pulling the salt out of the shaker there and rubbing it into the wound after the goal, but
sorry, Nick.
The South Africans definitely holding control at the start here.
As we see another swim off, one again by the Australians. I think that is the Badger taking that puck and just sliding it out to her left-hand side. Eliza Game, the goal machine, getting played off the puck there, and the South Africans very patient in defence, just running it back to that outside half. Oh, very close to a head there with that.
I think that hit her nose. I think that shaved her nose.
It's play on.
The referee's stopping it now. They played a bit of advantage there, but
showing a stick infringement.
So the ref's missing. Maybe it looked different from the camera angle. We'll give the refs the benefit of the doubt here, as just to wake Jack up and make sure that we got it into the other end of the pool here, Jack. So
rule number 1, the ref is always right.
Absolutely.
Rule number 2, if the ref is wrong, see rule number 1.
Yeah.
As the Aussies played into the centre, but missing an outside player there, missing that winger to come and cut that early movement down, as it's cleared by the South Africans to that corner. The Aussies looking to reload. They do have space in the back line. With number 1, Tori Wickham, just getting dispossessed, and maybe a mild puck fumble as the South Africans control it into their back corner. As the South Africans there driving it hard out of that back corner, all the way down the wall. The Aussies trying to just hold it up, but not being able to yet, as Phoebe Stewart, I think, manages to turn that one round. The Aussies lacking numbers on the bottom, Nick.
South Africa always with a player there to support.
Yeah, the bottom time from the South African girls is impressive here in this first 6 minutes. Whatever they're doing in that warm-up is definitely getting those lungs ready for action.
Yeah, Nick, I don't think it's just the warm-up. It's the building up to the tournament, training every weekend, training very hard. They put in a lot of effort to get you.
Nice release pass from the Australian fullback Phoebe Stewart there, and the Aussie girls finding a bit of bottom time.
Some good play by Australia now, also opening it up a bit, keeping possession. But South Africa stealing the puck there, back into the Aussie.
Australia just coughing up possession at the end of these really nice kind of passages of play, Nick. I think they're going to be they're going to need to rectify that. They're going to need to either convert that into some serious drive or continue that open movement.
Both teams doing a good job of linking together, 3 or 4 passes at a time, which is great to see. Zondrek trying to get around the outside there, but doesn't have the legs to get past the number 12.
Sarah Tyndall.
Sarah Tyndall doing a great job there. It looks like Marie from Western Australia. Oh, nice little pull back through her own backside there, and keeping the pressure against South Africa.
But again, South Africa's just so many numbers on the bottom and just so committed to that contest.
I think the timing of the players at the moment is relevant, because they're right down there at the right times, and that's what's creating the momentum.
So stick infringement against Australia, so a good opportunity for South Africa to take possession here, and I think we'll probably see them look to maintain that, I imagine, Jack.
Yeah,
Eleanor taking it Again, South Africa opting now to play a bit on the wall.
It's one of those things in 3 metres, you actually need to attack the wall to open the space in the centre corridor, which is what South Africa are doing so well here. They're forcing Australia to defend in numbers, and then they're ripping it off and swinging those very dangerous 45s with support.
Yeah, that's Tori Wickham there making the curl off the wall and looking for the 45. Getting caught straightening up, trying to go through 4 South African girls, but coming away with a free puck, which is probably not a bad result for them on that play. As we once again, we see Australia taking a free puck, looking to keep possession, spread it wide here.
That's some good play opening it up.
Yeah, South African girls, good bottom time staying behind the play there as the Aussies look to come back the other way now. And that's a great swim through by, I think that's Tori Wickham there, the Australian fullback. But fantastic bottom time from the South African girl there to stay down and stay patient and make that steal.
It's always hard when you've beaten a player and you continue on that 45 drive. After a few seconds, it's tempting to pull back, but if they've tracked you, they'll take that puck, and that's exactly what happened there. So great commitment from the South African girls.
I think fitness plays a role in being able to do that, and South Africa elite ladies have got the fitness. But currently Australia with possession, putting the pressure on South Africa, and it looks like that puck is...
And it's been slotted in.
And to quote my fellow South African commentator here, I think we'll go with goal!
Slotted in very nicely there by the Australian left wing.
We have a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams playing a beautiful open brand of hockey. Fantastic to watch, fantastic to commentate and watch the streaming on. And the South Africans taking control of that first 5 minutes of the game and capitalising it with a goal, but that seems to have woken the Aussies up, and this middle 5 minutes is probably going their way. So I would call it a very even half here so far. It's been fantastic hockey, Jack.
I think the words that the Australian coach has spoken in that timeout after the first 5 minutes where South Africa dominated surely inspired the ladies, because after that they immediately went over the halfway line and they were dominating possession now in the second third of the first half.
And can you give us a bit of an insight? What would the South African coach be saying to the girls here, do you think, Jack?
Clearly to go score another goal, Nick. Just keep it simple.
Simple instructions. Let's see if the South Africans can follow through on that.
And you can hear the crowds going wild. I think that's GB playing in the court next to us, and it's a GB France game, which obviously the European grudge match, and it's 2-0 at the moment to GB. So interesting game going on in the court next to the ladies here.
Yeah, it does seem to be the story all the way across this World Championships. Very, very close games. There's very little separating the top 8 teams across the board, men's and women's divisions. The South Africans win another, or I think it's actually the first strike they've won so far, driving hard to that left-hand side. So we're talking about coaches' words. Obviously, whatever's been said to them has put a little bit of fire in their bellies as they drive hard, but the Australians have turned over that puck.
Oh, good hit. Oh, but rolled off. I think we might see an obstruction or stick infringement here. I think the Aussie girl probably holding her space a little bit too proactively there, Jack.
Yes. Sometimes you get a bit over eager to protect the puck at all costs and then lose a bit of concentration, which I think might have happened there.
As the South Africans take another free and keeping it, I think that was a forward taking that one and just kind of driving it through and looking for a gap.
Roxy breaking through there, keeping possession, playing it back to Zandre, who's driving straight down the middle.
Good possession there from the South Africans. Patient again. Their first drive hasn't worked and they're just happy to consolidate.
Been a bit of a dangerous flick.
Against Australia for chopping. So another stick infringement.
Stick infringement. Number 3. Warning for number 3 from Australia, which is actually number 8. Sorry, that makes sense because 3 isn't playing. So that's Zoe Canavan, the Canavan of courage there, getting pulled up. As South Africans patient on the free puck. Nice flick, but good bottom time there. Eliza Game holding that outside space.
Looks like the Australian centre forward maybe should have pushed a little bit harder there in the sweep, but they get away with it this time as Eliza Game met by a strong South African player on that wall.
Lauren in the team that have won Worlds in South Africa in 2016.
Lauren
still going down there up the wall.
Second, third effort.
She wants
still
that goal.
down there. She's pushing.
Really wants it. We've got a signal. This will be interesting. So obviously it's coming down the South Africans' right-hand wall, so it's your glove side, which does make it hard get it in on your bat in those last moments. French referee there is looking for number 12, 1 minute. So number 12, that's
Looks
Eleanor.
like a dangerous flick to me.
Yeah.
Oh, stick infringement.
That French referee, number 23, does like to get himself involved in the game, as we've seen throughout the tournament.
And a ref's timeout called. I think that's Rob Feist, the referee on the other side there, is it? He's New Zealand referee, but either way, it's an Australian free puck. Unlucky for the South African girls there on the end of what was a very good drive and good aggressive play. As we get back underway here, Tori Wickham taking her time with that free puck and looking to release the wing. Once again met by sturdy South African defence there. A little swerve from the Honey Badger Vanderwood, but well cleaned up by the South African back there, Jack.
Yes, they need to keep possession now to run the clock down for Eleanor to get back into the game. So they will keep it away from the highway, most probably narrow it down on the wall. Keeping that clock running down, keeping it on her side, so when she is ready to join, the play would be on her side.
It does look like the South African girls have taken control of this game again. They're just getting those numbers down and really controlling that kind of centre court space just off the wall, which is so important in this 3 metre court. The Australian girls doing their best, but it does feel like they're just holding back the South Africans in this last part of the first half, Nick.
Hannah just looking like she gets dragged to the surface a bit there, and that's Sarah Tyndall coming out to the near side.
Oh, good steal there by Roxy. Roxy, well done, girl. Playing it back to Zandre, who breaks inside. Good Jinx to the inside.
Yeah, good change of direction there from Zandre, and she stays down and backs it up.
Oh, that's good play. Inside out, keeping the possession.
Just feeding that corridor
Drive
here.
Down the middle.
Go to the deck refs, but
Roxy, your beauty!
excellent patient setup play there from the South African girls, and we just saw a couple of the Australian forwards subbing as the puck came close to the sub bench, and Zandre very quick to move it away and capitalising on the low numbers in the pool. So good goal there to South Africa. As we have a look at the chat, we've got Dougie Parkinson from Tasmania weighing in, and a few South Africans there. Elma Sillers, Antoine Muscat, George Watson.
Boyfriend, Elma.
There you go. So, minute 20 here in this first half of this women's quarter-final, and it's South Africa leading 2-1 and winning the strike again and bringing it to the near side to help us with our viewing and commentating, Papa.
South Africa opting to drive down the middle this time, right after the kick-off. Playing it wide, not getting it away. Good possession by the South Africans, not rushing too much. That's a good flick by Lauren Dwyer, breaking inside again, playing it wide.
Again, the South Africans, the big thing about the way they're moving the puck is that they have support around them, and that's exactly how they scored that goal. Zandre kicking off that 45 and carrying it into the centre of the tray, and then she had girls all around her. Great support as the Australians managed to fight back along that wall and start their own 45. They've got 3 forwards down. If this outside player could have pushed in a little bit harder, perhaps they could have kept that 45 going, but the South Africans have regained possession, and they're just very patient in defence, Nick.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of just changing their line. They come in, they attack one direction, and then they very quickly switch that 45 back inside, and they're finding a little bit of space in the corridor as the Aussie girls try and set up a bit of possession play here and move the puck around, stringing a few nice passes together, but no one really settling it and getting it moving there, Papa.
Yeah, always hard in the kind of the dying minutes of a half, particularly if they've just scored, to kind of regain control. As that is half time with South Africa leading 2-1 against Australia. What have we got? We've still got Eleanor out for another 30 seconds, which will mean
I think it's maybe just stuck again on the
it is stuck
screen.
on the there is no player out, but a great half from South Africa in particular. They did lose control there for a section, Jack, and the Aussies were very quick to score. Do you think they can hold the Australians out for the second half?
I think it'll also be an exciting second half. There's like a seesaw at the moment. One side dominated the first third, Australia dominated the second third, and then South Africa came back and used that opportunity when Australia was substituting right in front of their goals while we had possession of the puck, and South Africa drove there right through the middle to put themselves ahead 2-1 at half time.
Yeah, so I think we've had a really good first half of hockey with both teams playing a really nice open brand of good watching hockey. So it's a pleasure to see at this tournament that has been heavily dominated by some aggressive punchy play. Just looking at the chat here, there's a lot of leckers getting thrown around, Jack, so the South Africans obviously enjoying this one back home.
Yeah.
And if you are enjoying the stream, you can see on your screen there the GoFundMe for the tournament here. Obviously, all this streaming is being sent out to you free to air. And it's not free to produce, I'll give you the hot tip. It takes a lot of time and effort from a dedicated team, and we've obviously got a big team of volunteers here as well. But it does cost money to put all this together, and that money at the moment is coming out of the back pocket of all the players. So if you are enjoying the stream, throw a few bucks to the GoFundMe and help support it. All that money goes straight back into the sport here. And if you need a shout out, then post away. We will shamelessly pimp ourselves to the audience for money. Obviously that money will go back into the GoFundMe, not into the Nick and Jack Prezzo Fund, which is also up for donations if you want to. But just over 50 seconds left on the clock here, Papa. I think we're in for an exciting second half.
I think we are, and I imagine both coaches would have been talking about control, possession and bottom. Whoever claims that bottom, I reckon in the first 5 minutes of this half will probably win the game.
All 3 goals came from the teams keeping possession for quite a while, keeping the momentum going and keeping the pressure on the opposition side, and it paid off every 3 times that happened in this game. So yes, an exciting another 15 minutes ahead of us, and we're looking forward to an exciting match.
Yeah, and I think in this patient possession-based hockey, for me, it's the team with the bottom time is the one that comes away with it, and a lot of those goals in that positive open play have come from players staying down and backing it up, second, third efforts, curling, offloading a pass, but then staying down to be support. So I think the team that wants it more and wants the bottom more is going to come away with this one in this second half.
Speaking about staying at the bottom, the first time ever I saw Roxy play underwater hockey was 7 years old at the junior national tournament, playing for Fall Triangle Underwater Hockey Club at that stage. And I think in that whole tournament, I don't think she ever touched the puck once, because by the time she got to the bottom, the puck had already moved. And I mean, by 12, she played for South African under 19 SA team already. So a lot of experience there from Roxy.
Yeah, I think Australia lucky there. The fullback coming in onto the wall and releasing quite a loose pass to the middle. But unfortunately for South Africa, a bit of a stick infringement, seeing a player go to the bin.
Must have been a pretty severe one for a kick-out, Nick, or perhaps you've got a warning from the previous half carrying over. I think Eleanor did do some time in the bin from that first half, perhaps for the same thing, and the referees just give her another reminder.
Honey Badger.
Africa using the opportunity with numbers to keep it in the middle. A lot of pressure
there. Forward there, the pluck.
Great scoop
we
back
go to
there.
the surface.
I think that was a Badger's paw coming back
and
scooping it in for Australia.
And that's a goal. And the crowd goes wild. Australia once again capitalising on that 6-on-5 opportunity. And good drive to manage to keep it into the middle, realising that they had the South Africans on the back foot. And unfortunately for South Africa there, Jack, just not able to get the numbers behind the puck and clear it to their safe zones.
Yes, I think they missed Eleanor in that move. And it clearly shows you, if you can't play with 5 players, you need to make sure of how you play the game, keep it clean. You want your 6 players in the water at all times. And like I said, we're in for a very exciting second half.
As the swim-off happens, and it's pretty even there. Both teams putting numbers down and around it. But it looks like South Africa's broken with that 45 to the far side there, Papa.
Yeah, number 12, Sarah Tyndall, taking that swim off, and I know for a fact she's not a centre corridor player. She's an outside wing. So perhaps with the Badger in the bin, the Gangles opted that Sarah Tyndall, the slightly faster player, take that swim off as it's guided to the left-hand wall, and we have another referee's call. Looks like it's against Australia for a stick infringement again. That French referee, number 23, he does not like chopping, and he's doing his best to eliminate it from the modern game, Nick.
Yeah, look, I think when he was a kid, he had a wood fire, and his parents used to send him out the back a lot to chop wood, and as a result, he has a hatred. And look, I can understand that. I never enjoyed chopping wood when I was a kid, so I can sympathise. There's a little bit of huffs of puff going on the corner of the tray there, with the puck being cleared. Australia's moving it off the wall, as the South Africans are back to 6 now. They got their numbers there, but it's the Aussies just clearing that one wide, Jack.
South Africa applying the pressure there, and every time they apply the pressure, the Australians made a mistake, and there South Africa going right down the middle again, pull back, drive towards the goal, And it looks like the puck is in the goal again. Well done, South Africa.
South Africa score.
A lot of action here in pool number 1.
Yes.
South Africa driving there right to the middle, opening up the fence and played back to the right corner with support from the right hand side, pushing the puck in there. Well done, Marley. Gerrit must be very proud of you at the moment. Gerrit, jy kan 'n lekker breë glimlag gee daarso, spring op en af en klap jou hande. Well done.
As he busily drops the Afrikaans in there. Antoine getting a little upset in the chat here that South Africa's had 2 chuckouts for stick infringements and Australia getting called there with no kickouts. I think, Antoine, what happened was Eleanor got warned early on in the game. She obviously did a stick infringement that was a little over-enthusiastic. I'm sure it wasn't a nasty, just over-enthusiastic, and then following that warning, anything after that is going to be a 1-minute kick-out. So I think the refs are doing their very best to be consistent, and I think they're doing a good job of letting the game flow and keeping it open at this stage. And yeah, fantastic drive from the South Africans there, Papa.
If you are interested in the going-ons of the other quarters, I've heard they've just gone down. The score is currently 4-0 to Great Britain. So sorry about that feed going down on the other court. 4-0 to Great Britain in the other playoff. But yeah, that's exactly right, Nick. If you aren't too enthusiastic with the chopping, you will spend time in the bin. And great work by the South African girls to respond to that Australian goal very quickly.
Yeah, and I didn't see whose timeout did we use here. Black. So Australia calling the timeout early to try and remotivate, looking for that same tactic they used in the first half, Jack.
Yes, that worked very well for them in the first half, but South Africa, yeah, winning the sprint off to the puck and opting to play it wide and go to the wall and playing it up the wall. Numbers down at the moment there, slowly progressing forward, not pushing or forcing the issue. The harder you force the issue, the more oxygen you burn on the bottom, but Australia...
This is Eliza Game on the outside, and she's scored goals from that sort of a position, Nick. A very dangerous outside fast player. She just misses that scoop, and it could have been a very interesting little passage of play had she got it. But the South Africans...
Genie, captain of South Africa, batting that puck down there, still staying down, keeping the pressure on the...
Yeah, look, great second efforts from all the players in here. It's a fantastic game to watch. I am thoroughly enjoying it.
That's a brilliant break.
Great cut inside by Zoe Canavan, the Canavan of courage, and she does have some speed on her. She cuts through that big central drive and then looks for a layback.
Caught hanging onto it.
Interception there by Roxy.
Dear me.
Go Roxy.
The Australian girls just maybe a little bit of confusion in the back line to where exactly that puck needed to go.
Number 5, the captain there, Jeannie, she wants that puck.
She's keen, flat on the bottom, ready as the South Africans just again showing their great patience on the puck.
As we see Robert Tissot getting in there.
Puck slid straight past her to
Eliza Game with a nice little touch.
Exploding forward, but the South Africans just too strong.
It's
kooky left-hander headbutting that South African player.
It's Eleanor getting in there in the contact. 2 Australians pushing South Africa back there. Good numbers on the bottom there by Australia now.
It's getting fierce in there at the moment.
Phoebe Stewart just giving up a bit of body position there, but keeping the puck in front of her, which is good as the...
Caitlin Ten Wenzel comes in angry again and looks for the nice swim off the wall. Can she maintain possession?
South Africa stealing the puck there.
Good work from the South African forward, just coming in and dispossessing that one. But number 23, the French ref who grew up out on a homestead chopping wood, has once again found a stick infringement in there. And it's going to be another Australian free puck.
You can almost see the PTSD flashback from the ref as he made that call. As the Aussies line up with their stack just on the inside of the puck there. So looking to feed that, I imagine, and then continue a 45 drive.
Taking their time on that one.
And it's in the middle of that drive, which is exactly where the Australians want it to go. But South Africans coming in very hard, a halfback feeding it back in, but the referees have seen something or other they're calling up.
Interesting that the South African forward opt to go for the outside of the puck and force Australia right into the middle of that play.
As we see a free arm being called against Australia there, so chance for South Africa to get some possession now and start playing their game and wrestle back some control.
South Africa immediately on the bottom when the buzzer went, giving them a couple of yards to play forward and space.
Both teams lifted the intensity a little bit in that last few minutes there. It'll be interesting to see how that affects the legs and the fitness of both these teams, as both teams pretty fit coming into this tournament, and it's the Aussies making a drive up the outside
The South Africans actually started that drive across the court, but obviously the Australian left wing has picked that up and just turned that drive around.
Yeah, I think that was the halfback. I think that was the Canavan of courage once again, getting a good drive up the outside there. As the fullback for Australia comes in and feeds the Honey Badger.
South Africa cutting it off there, robbing the puck, going back to the wall, pulling the Australian defence
a signal
into
on
the
the
wall.
surface here. We're going to get stick infringement
chopping again.
once again. It's not our French ref this time though. It's the other referee who we haven't seen a lot of ref number 32 this game, and that's what we want to do, is not see a lot of the refs, only pulling it up when they really need to. And I can't actually identify that ref from the stream at the moment, so sorry to the viewers at home. You'll have to take a guess yourself. As the Aussies again looking to feed that stack, the Honey Badger picking it up and looking to drive it into that corridor.
Australia driving right through the middle
Big
there,
and
keeping
strong,
numbers
good numbers
down.
down. It's got to the corner of the tray.
Pull
Good curl and recycle.
Oh, but it's picked up by a South
African
forward.
clearing it out very, very well there.
Great
to the
work
side.
by the South Africans.
Yeah,
there.
good
Number
bottom
6,
time.
Jennifer helping their teammates there.
Good scramble from the South Africans. As the Aussies, the flick just makes it.
And
They might
South Africa trying to break out
player
right
coming
down
from
the
the
middle.
sub bench here. We may have a breakaway on this, I think.
There we go. And there we go. That's a
Looking-
breakaway. South Africa, go, Bokkies, go, Bokkies, go!
Oh, she's coming over the top, but just
Ray.
unable to get there, and that's
Gerard
a
Little hier het
fantastic
gesê hier
swim.
is spoed, hier is spoed, hier is spoed en sy is reg deur.
Number 7 and number 3 there, so that's Marley Pelzer and Francesca Reitman, is that it?
Yes, Francisca from Cape Town and Marley from Pretoria. Gerard's
And-
heart must be beating like a steam train at the moment. His wife in her first elite world championships. Marley is a under 23 SA player previously. And yeah, well done South Africa.
And that'll be a heartbreaker for the Aussie girls there. It'll be interesting to see how they respond. 6 minutes on the clock. The game is by no means over, but to have that aggressive pressure on the tray and have it quickly turned around on you. As we see them, they looks like they've responded with a fair bit of gusto here, and that's Hannah.
Hannah carrying the puck in the centre, a big drive. If it can be kept inside by this outside player, there's
South
there's more than
Africa
half
doing
a
their
chance.
best to get it out. Australia trying to regain the possession there,
Always really
but the
tough.
numbers lacking there for support.
Great
good
clearance there by
steal.
South
Oh,
Africa.
attack the tray, Hannah. Attack the tray.
Oh, she's flicked it
She's
down the wall and
flicked it.
backed
There we
it
go.
up. It's
Right.
gone in, surely. The Badgers on
Good
the
stop
inside.
there, right
shoveling,
on the
shoveling,
tin.
shoveling.
This is a hard one to put in when you've got your glove on that
There
wall.
we go.
It spills
Some more
out.
numbers down. Puck.
Tori Wickham
popping
trying to
out.
roll on it. But
South Africa cleaning. Australia putting the numbers down there.
great work from the South Africans being the first to recycle back down in there.
Eleanor just laying it down there, looking for teammates, regrouping, some subs, getting in for support. Oh, what a clean out from the wall by Australia.
A great 45 by Australia.
The
tray
Badger,
is open.
she flicks it. It looks like
that
it's...
could be a penalty.
No.
Not.
I think the buzzer actually went just as she picked it up to drive that 45. The score in the GB game, for those of you who...
Still 4-0.
Still 4-0 to GB.
Hey.
So we have had some issues with the stream on that other court. It is being recorded and they will upload it post-game. So they just have lost the internet on that court, so they will fix it as soon as they can. As we come back to the game at hand, just
South Africa
over 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, South Africa calling a timeout there. I think they're slightly under pressure now. We're into the last third of the game. South Africa with a 4-2 advantage. Roger instructing them most probably to keep the puck on their substitution side, keep the numbers coming in and out all the time, keep them fresh, keep possession.
And special comments from Brento, the super coach, coming in there. Is this a bit of fitness preparation for him for
Was
your
that
game
Brent?
for later?
I thought it was Willem Zelstra.
Oh, is it Willem, is it? No, it's definitely Brento. I can see those.
It could
I
be
can see
Darren.
those-
It could be Darren. According to your comments earlier, they all got the same shape in our side.
Well, I can definitely...
Yes, it's Brent. He's
I
the
can see
official.
the rosy cheeks of Bent Portslap there.
Yeah, no, it is Brent.
Massive swerve there by the South African number 2 as Eliza Gain comes in hot, but just slips
dishing out
beautifully
a
on the
big serve of
inside.
Borovors to the Australian forward.
Yeah, we Aussies can't avoid
South
a big
Africa.
juicy Lamington on the end of a bent arm, and Eliza no exception there as the South Africans drive that left-hand wall hard, and again with numbers, Eleanor de Kock just sliding that one on the inside and back out. Very patient attack, Jack. It's really good to see from the South African girls.
Ooh, someone going for the face grab there from Caitlin Ten Bensel. as Phoebe Stewart comes out with the puck from that one, and it spills for Sarah Tyndall from the looks of it.
Eleanor stealing the puck there,
See there,
opting to
number
go back
5.
for the corner.
Hannah just lurking in the corridor.
Oh, she has actually
Pulls it
got
back.
it.
She has got it. Dishes it back to Marie, her fullback, who loses it to the inside, which is not the best spot to try and lose it to, as Tori Wickham bringing it out the back wall.
Good work by Tori, just calm, considerate, and she's got the
Slowing it down nicely. She's got some numbers for support.
The Aussie girls need to turn and burn here. They had the numbers and just kind of dispossessed a little bit too easily for my liking. And you hate to see it, Nick, but the Aussie girls maybe have just dropped down a gear, maybe a little bit tired at this point. They've put a lot of heart into this game so far, and maybe psychologically they've already let go a little bit.
Jenny put some time there on the bottom. You can see the Spider strapping she's got on her shoulders. The SA ladies sponsored by Spider strapping.
And play stagnates on the far side a little bit there. Both teams really desperately trying to play this last 3 minutes out. The Australians looking for the corridor.
Some good clearance up from the wall there. Bit slow to get away there, unfortunately, for Australia.
Yeah, a little confusion, I think, between the centre and the wing, and Eliza went to pick it up, and the centre actually had it, as South Africans again on this dangerous 45 movement, trying to come off the wall.
South Africa with good numbers on the bottom, not forcing the issue so much. Stay calm inside, and that looks like a very easy, too high.
Yeah.
Second time, third time.
Playing advantage.
It's a
Yeah.
goal!
Referee's playing advantage.
Good work by the referee. It would have been very tempting to call that up straight away as an illegal knockdown, but letting them play and letting the South Africans score that goal, which is exactly what happened.
Zandre, well done, scoring another goal.
Yes.
Zandre with Eleanor, double world champion age group, under 19 elite ladies already. A lot of experience for those two young girls to already have played at this level.
Yeah, I think the Aussie girls really throwing everything they had at those previous few attacks, and then just getting caught there following the curl of the South African girl, and managing to maintain possession and play that patient play there. South Africa, as the Aussies come out angry, they're not going to go down without a fight in the last 2 minutes here. But at 5-2, the South Africans with a comfortable lead.
Goes option to the right.
Great work by Hannah Robertiso in the middle of that melee there. She stayed down for that whole play and actually managed to feed her outside player Eliza there. As it does end up in that corner. Hannah down again, desperate for that puck. She's hungry for a goal.
Good numbers down there by Australia.
Hard press down that wall, and we've seen the South Africans defend this sort of pressure time and time again. So the Australians just really...
South Africa getting it out there. Good pressure by Australia, but unfortunately no numbers. Referee seen a mistake there. Bit of gloving. Penalty for Australia. A lot of pressure, like I said earlier. Like I said earlier today, Nick, you know, the team that keeps the pressure, keep the puck and apply the pressure, force the errors onto the defending team, and clearly we can see here that Australia's pressure there resulted into a penalty for Australia.
Yeah, so we've got, looks like Zondre defending there, the number 11 for South Africa, and it's the Honey Badger 13 and the Gangle number 5 for Australia. It's the Gangle taking it, the chip, and nice flick from Hannah. Good to see one in the family can score goals, Jack. You weren't able to do it, and it's your sister and my wife that's having to carry the goal mantle for us this tournament.
Yeah, I guess it's always hard to score when you're lacking a little bit of support from behind you. Obviously, the Australian women's backs very, very good supporting their forwards in this game, which is great to see, and Hannah's been rewarded with the goal there.
So with 1 minute 9 left on the clock, sadly I think it's going to be a little bit too late for the Aussie ladies here, who have certainly been in this game the whole time. It has been an end-to-end battle and a thoroughly enjoyable 29 minutes so far, and I don't see either team giving up for this last minute, Jack.
I think it was a fantastic game. Good hockey by both teams. I think South Africa, at the end of the day, just using the opportunities slightly better than Australia, keeping possession of the puck, stay calm under pressure, not rushing and forcing the issue. And that, I think, at the end of the day, paid off for the elite ladies.
That's what stood out for me, Jack. I really saw their composure in defence, particularly when the Australians were stacking on a lot of pressure. They just managed to absorb it, spread it wide, and then consolidate. And then that same patience in attack, when it wasn't on for them, they held on to it, and then they were rewarded when the gaps did open up. So great play by the South Africans, and well fought by the Australians so far, with 40 seconds to go.
I think the experience of the elite ladies who was in the previous Worlds who won, that energy and that experience have rubbed off on the new players.
Yeah, look, I think for me it's been the best game I've seen all tournament in terms of actually watching some hockey get played. Both teams playing a very similar style, both teams happy to open it up. As our clock on the screen is actually a little bit behind, and that is full time there. And in what is, I think, a very similar result from 2 years ago, Jack, when these teams played in a quarter-final. I think it may even be a very similar scoreline. I think it might have been 5-3 in that game as well. And congratulations to the South African ladies. And Jack, I think we'll try and get one of them on the side of the pool for you to do an interview with.
Quickly go rush and do that. Yeah, well done South Africa. Baie dankie vir al die mense wat by die huis gekyk het en ondersteun het. Ons sê vir julle baie dankie. Al daai ondersteuning en support help die mense hier. So die dames waardeer dit ongelooflik baie. Well played Australia. If it wasn't for you guys giving us such good opposition, I don't think it would have been such a good match overall as well. Nick, Jack, thank you very much for helping and supporting you on the commentary.
Yeah, thanks
to both the Jacks. I'm going to hit the deck to try and get somebody for an interview quickly.
And the GB game has gone 5-0 for GB in the other, so we will have South Africa and GB progressing through to the semi-finals from this, the first quarter-final round. Thanks everyone for watching. Jack is grabbing the microphone and heading over to the interview booth. We'll see if we can get one of the South African girls to come and join him. But well done to both teams in, like I said before, what has been probably the best game I have watched this tournament for sure in terms of seeing actual underwater hockey get played. And well done to the referees for letting that game flow and keep going. As the players now shaking hands, Aussie girls will go into a repechage for our 5th place playoff games, which they will play again this afternoon. The South Africans will have a break and they will go into a semi-final tomorrow. Once again, if you have enjoyed the stream, feel free to jump on and throw some money at the GoFundMe page, raising money to try and help cover the costs of the players this tournament. Has he got the microphone from the other court or this court?
He has the red one.
Yeah, cool.
It's in the right spot.
This one?
Yep.
And I'll go to Jack. I've got the mic on for him there. If he can just turn around and look at me. Papa. Jack. Get him to start talking. You got it.
Okay, a wonderful game, a fantastic game, a game of badminton, ping pong, dominating sides. Jeannie, how do you feel about this win?
Sure, that was a great win. The girls really played an amazing game, and I'm very proud of them. Yeah.
What would you say was the success of this game?
I think just playing together, and we actually. When we were going, it was just amazing to see the flow, and the girls were there for each other. This defense at the back was solid, and we just didn't give up. We went on.
Fantastic work. Australia, every time you guys scored, came back. How did it feel, the pressure?
No, it was okay. We knew that they're going to be a strong team. We knew they're going to bring it. And it was great to just see how the girls will step up out of the pressure and just perform again.
Enige boodskappe vir die mense by die huis?
Ja, en ek wil net baie dankie sê vir die familie en vir almal op in Suid-Afrika. Baie dankie vir al die ondersteuning. Ons waardeer dit verskriklik baie. Thank you to all the South Africans for supporting us. We love you and we'll hope we make you proud.
A good win by South Africa. Jeannie van der Merwe leading by example. Well done, Jeannie, and good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, supporters, and we'll most probably have an interview with one of the Aussies now. Thank you.